Good morning to everybody. Another beautiful, gorgeous day. We started the book of Vayikra. And the entire book of Vayikra talks about Korbanot. So if you look at the beginning of the book of Vayikra, it says if a person is financially stable, he's rich, they could bring a Korban as a bull, they could bring a sheep, they could bring a goat. And if somebody financially cannot afford it, unfortunate person is poor, they could bring a pigeon, they could bring a birds. But it has to be two. So they bring before Kohen, and Kohen has to do the Korban. For each Korban, Kohen had to sharpen his knife, has to make sure it's 100% kosher, perfect, smooth shchita. When it comes to the pigeons, comes to the bird that the poor person brought, it says they should not cut with a knife, cut with your nail. So Kohen, on his thumb, would have like a long nail, sharp, so they just cut the pigeon. And should cut it to the extent the head should not be cut off completely. So the question is, why all of a sudden, imagine somebody comes to you today and says, you know what, I want to make a shchita on the pigeon, or I want to make a shchita on the bird. If somebody cuts it with a nail, don't even try it, it's not kosher, it's treifa. There's no question about it, not kosher. What makes it kosher? What made it kosher in Beit HaMikdash? Chachamim explain us the deep feelings and emotions that Hashem is teaching Bnei Israel towards another fellow Jew. When a person comes to Beit HaMikdash with a goat, with a sheep, with a lamb, he's so proud, feels good, he's turning all over, let everybody see, I'm rich, I could afford it, I brought a beautiful, nice, expensive Korban. A person came with the pigeons, had to be at least two, was hiding inside of his coat from the shame and embarrassment, because he's poor, unfortunate person. So while they're all standing online to bring a Korban, Hashem is teaching us, telling to the Kohen, you make a shchita quickly. Don't sit there, sharpen your knife. Because before and after every shchita, they have to sharpen, prepare the knife. It's not like Baruch Hashem, now we're fortunate, you could buy a few sets of knives. So while you're standing there and sharpening your knife, and the poor person standing there with the small pigeons and embarrassed, ashamed, which is a terrible sin, avera, making somebody feel uncomfortable. So Hashem said, you know what, don't make him wait, just cut with your nail, bam. But make sure don't cut all the way. The head, don't cut off the head all the way. What's the problem? If the head is cut off all the way, what happens if it falls on the ground? If it falls on the ground, people behind they could see it, or people around could see, oh, that guy most probably cheap. He brought a pigeon or a bird. So nobody should judge him. Nobody should make him feel uncomfortable. Hashem is teaching us how careful we have to be on the emotions and feelings of another person. Rabotai, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's nice, but we don't have a Beit HaMikdash, we don't bring the Korbanot. We have other ways that we could make people feel uncomfortable. If Hashem is teaching us, even for the Korban, made exceptional case not to make another person embarrassed, how much careful we have to be with another person's feeling, not to make another person embarrassed by calling people names sometimes that they don't like, making fun of people in public or even privately, making feel them uncomfortable, making jokes that are very silly, that makes people feel embarrassed and uncomfortable. Anybody embarrasses or he shames another person doesn't have olam haba. If somebody eats non-kosher pig, imagine somebody eats pig, it doesn't say you don't have olam haba. You have olam haba, you need to do teshuvah for it. If somebody mechalel Shabbat, chas v'shalom, breaks the Shabbat, desecrates the holy Shabbat, you could do teshuvah. It doesn't say you don't have olam haba, but doesn't mean you could desecrate it and do teshuvah, of course. If somebody did not know, if somebody ate basar b'chalav, meat and milk, it doesn't say you don't have olam haba. You have to do teshuvah, of course. You have to be careful. Like kol mevazer chavero berabim, anybody embarrasses another fellow Jew, no olam haba. That's how bad it is. And shame another person. This is Hashem teaching us to be careful with the feelings and emotion with another person. We find in Torah when the Korach and Moshe in the Midbar, in the desert, they got into argument. So Korach brought his people, big group of people, and embarrassing Moshe, that Moshe is a liar, Moshe is a crook, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's a magician, that's how he took out the people out of Egypt, he's a good psychologist, that's how he convinced people, that's why he's a good leader, not because Hashem appointed him. He was fighting in public. So what Moshe do? Moshe Rabbeinu right away covered his face and lowered himself to the ground. He lay on the ground. What happened? Moshe, you have nothing else to say? You can't answer? Korach said, no. Even though he's embarrassing me, I'm going to cover my face. Nobody should see my face turn colors because Korach is going to lose his Olam Haba. This is the level of the righteous people of Tzaddikim. Korach is attacking Moshe, embarrassing. He doesn't answer back because I don't want to embarrass you and lose my Olam Haba also. So right away Moshe covers his face and lays down on the ground. Nobody should see his face changing colors. Because if somebody sees, then Korach for sure sees Olam Haba. Even if somebody is bad to you, you're still good. Rabotai, next time we deal with another person, we should be careful with the family members. Yes, I know this is your child, this is your spouse. Sometimes we do stupid jokes. Be careful with another person's feelings. Hashem is teaching us a big lesson. I know, Baruch Hashem, before Pesach right now, a lot of people watching out for another fellow Jews. They're helping each other. It's very nice. I know a person, it's an amazing tzaddik. He did big, nice shoppings for many unfortunate families that cannot really afford some stuff for Pesach. He rang the bell. He left the boxes of shopping by the door. He right away ran out. How did I know about the story? I saw a guy running out of the building. I said, is everything okay? You don't live in this building. You're running out of this building. He said, I put the packages Pesach shopping by the door. I rang the bell. I ran out. They shouldn't see me because they can get embarrassed. They're going to feel uncomfortable. And every time they're going to bump into me in the street, they're going to feel embarrassed.